the insane rise of young Mocro Maffia member Bolle Jos. Are you ready to dive into the crazy world of the Mocro Maffia? Well, hold on to your seats because today we're going to be talking about Bolle Jos, one of the youngest and most ruthless members of the notorious Dutch gang. From his early beginnings on the streets to his meteoric rise to power, we'll be taking a deep dive into his life of crime, drugs, and violence. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an insane ride through the life of one of the most infamous gangsters in Europe's history. Bolle Jos's early life was marked by a number of factors that may have contributed to his later involvement in the Mocro Maffia. Jos was born and raised in Amsterdam, in a neighborhood with a reputation for crime and poverty. His parents were immigrants from Morocco and struggled to make ends meet, often working long hours to support their family. Growing up, Jos was exposed to the harsh realities of life in the inner city. He witnessed drug use, gang violence, and other criminal activities on a regular basis. The environment may have instilled in him a sense of mistrust and hostility towards authority figures, and a belief that success and respect could only be achieved through force and intimidation. Jos struggled in school and often felt like an outsider. He had trouble fitting in with his peers and was frequently the target of bullying and harassment. This may have contributed to a sense of alienation and desire for acceptance from a group of like-minded individuals. Bolle Jos's entry into the Mocro Maffia is somewhat shrouded in mystery, as he has never publicly discussed the details of his involvement. However, it is believed that he first became involved in the organization during his late teens or early 20s. One possible scenario is that Jos was recruited into the Mocro Maffia through his connections in the Amsterdam criminal underworld. He may have been introduced to the members of the organization through friends or acquaintances, and gradually became more involved in their activities. Another possibility is that Jos approached the Mocro Maffia himself, seeking protection or a sense of belonging. As someone who had experienced poverty, violence, and discrimination, he may have been drawn to the Mocro Maffia's reputation for strength and loyalty. Once he was part of the organization, Jos started out in a low-entry role, performing tasks such as drug running or collecting protection money. Over time, he may have demonstrated his loyalties and abilities to carry out orders, earning the trust and respect of his superiors. Regardless of how he first became involved, it is clear that Bolle Jos went on to become one of the Mocro Maffia's most influential members, playing a key role in the organization's rise to power. Bolle Jos's rise to power within the Mocro Maffia was a gradual process that took place over several years. As he proved himself to be a loyal and capable member of the organization, he was given increasingly important tasks and responsibilities. One of the key factors in Jos's ascent through the ranks was his ability to maintain a low profile and avoid drawing attention to himself. Unlike some of his more flamboyant colleagues, Jos was known for being discreet and efficient in his work. This made him a valuable asset to the organization and helped him gain the trust and respect of his superiors. Another important factor for Jos's willingness was to take risks and make tough decisions. He was known for being fearless in the face of danger and was not afraid to use violence or intimidation to achieve his goals. This helped him to build a reputation as a ruthless enforcer and a force to be reckoned with. Perhaps the most significant factor in Jos's rise to power, however, was his role in expanding the Mocro Maffia's operation beyond Amsterdam. Jos was instrumental in setting up drug smuggling routes between the Netherlands and other countries, particularly Spain and Morocco. This brought in huge profits for the organization and helped solidify its status as a major player in the European drug trade. Bolle Jos's time in the Mocro Maffia was not without its controversies and rivalries. One of the most notable conflicts he faced was with a rival gang known as the Tata Mafia, which was made up primarily of white Dutch criminals. The tension between the two groups came to a head in 2012 when members of the Tata Mafia shot and killed a prominent member of the Mocro Maffia. Bolle Jos and his associates retaliated by launching a series of violent attacks on members of the Tata Mafia, sparking a wave of gang violence in Amsterdam. Jos also faced internal conflicts with the Mocro Maffia. In 2014, he was arrested and charged with ordering the murder of a rival gang member. Some members of the organization saw this as a reckless move that could draw unwanted attention from law enforcement, while others saw it as a necessary show of strength. Despite these controversies, Jos was able to maintain his position within the Mocro Maffia and continue to exert significant influence over the organization. He was known for his ability to navigate complex power dynamics and keep his cool under pressure, qualities that helped him to survive and thrive in the dangerous world of organized crime. As a key member of the Mocro Maffia, Bolle Jos was involved in a wide range of criminal activities, many of which were highly lucrative. One of the primary sources of income for the organization was drug trafficking, with Jos playing a key role in setting up smuggling routes between the Netherlands and other countries in Europe and North Africa. In addition to drug trafficking, Jos and his associates engaged in a variety of other illegal activities, such as extortion, money laundering, and contract killing. They would often target businesses in Amsterdam's red light districts, demanding protection money in exchange for not causing trouble. They also laundered money through legitimate businesses and real estate investments, making it difficult for law enforcement to track their activities. Jos was known for his ability to think strategically and stay one step ahead of law enforcement. For example, he was known to use encrypted communication tools and employ lookouts to avoid detection during drug transactions. He also had a reputation for being ruthless in his dealings with anyone who crossed him, using violence and intimidation to maintain control over his criminal empire. Bolle Jos had several run-ins with law enforcement over the course of his criminal career, and he was ultimately brought down by a combination of his own mistakes and increased scrutiny from law enforcement agencies. In 2014, Jos was arrested and charged with ordering the murder of a rival gang member. He was eventually convicted and sentenced to life in prison, along with several other members of the Mocro Maffia who were involved in the plot. This was not the first time that Jos had been in trouble with the law. In 2010, he was arrested for his involvement in a large-scale drug trafficking operation, but was ultimately released due to lack of evidence. He also had several other brushes with the law over the years, including arrests for assault and weapon offenses. Despite his reputation as a skilled criminal mastermind, Jos was ultimately unable to evade the long arm of the law. His trial was highly publicized in the Netherlands, and his conviction was seen as a major victory for law enforcement in their fight against organized crime. Today, Jos remains in prison, serving out his life sentence for his role in the murder plot and other criminal activities. As one of the most powerful and influential members of the Mocro Maffia, Bolle Jos was connected to a wide range of high-profile individuals and groups. One of the most notable connections he has was to Ridouan Taghi, another notorious Dutch-Moroccan criminal who was also involved in the Mocro Maffia. Taghi and Jos were known to have worked closely together on various criminal activities, and their partnership was seen as a major factor in the rise of the Mocro Maffia in the Netherlands. However, the relationship soured in later years, and they reportedly became bitter rivals before Taghi's arrest in 2019. Jos was also known to have connections to corrupt officials within the Dutch government and law enforcement agencies. These officials were allegedly paid off by Jos and other members of the Mocro Maffia in exchange for information and other forms of assistance. Despite his many connections, Jos was ultimately unable to avoid prosecution for his criminal activities. Bolle Jos has not officially retired from the Mocro Maffia, as he is currently serving a life sentence in prison for his involvement in a murder plot and other criminal activities. However, his arrest and imprisonment marked the end of his reign as one of the most powerful figures in the Dutch criminal underworld. Since being incarcerated, Jos has largely remained out of the public eye. There have been occasional reports of his activities while in prison, including allegations that he has continued to exert influence over the Mocro Maffia from behind bars. However, these reports are difficult to verify, and it's unclear what level of involvement he currently has in the organization. For many in the Netherlands, the downfall of Bolle Jos represents a major victory in the fight against organized crime. It's hoped that his conviction will serve as a deterrent to others who may be tempted to engage in similar activities, and that will help to weaken the grip of the Mocro Maffia and other criminal organizations in the country. Bolle Jos was one of the most notorious and influential figures in the Mocro Maffia, and his impact on the Dutch criminal underworld cannot be overstated. His rise to power and eventual downfall served as a cautionary tale for those who would seek to engage in organized crime, and his legacy continues to be felt in the Netherlands and beyond. In the wake of his arrest and imprisonment, there were reports that the Mocro Maffia had been significantly weakened, and that Jos's absence had created a power vacuum within the organization. However, it's unclear whether this has led to a significant reduction in the group's activities, and many experts believe that the Mocro Maffia continues to be a major player in the Dutch criminal underworld. Jos's story has also been the subject of numerous media depictions, including books, films, and documentaries. That's it for today's video on the insane rise of young Mocro Maffia member Bolle Jos. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from around the world. Thanks for watching.